Hello everyone, my name is Ali Cupcakes and today we have a speed paint of the Lineart of the Pokemon, starting off with my favorite, Bellossom. Welcome to another episode of Yup With Me, where I talk about whatever comes to mind. I feel like my style really fits the Pokemon one because it's round and soft and in the coloring part, I think my palette suits really well with whatever this kind of style has going on. But 90% of the video is gonna be about Lineart because that takes so long. And as you can notice, it's being recorded the same way as the other Lineart. Here I get the arms wrong, but I quickly fixed them, so don't worry about that. He's one of the Pokemon that's gonna also have a shine version, so I made sure to keep the layers separated for the eyes. And something that I think makes a lot of drawings easier to be made in a batch is to Lineart them all first and then color each by each, because it kind of sets you in a mood and the size of the brush has to remain the same, while with coloring it tends to change very often. And talking about Machoke, he's one of the Pokemon along with Blaziken that made me realize some Pokemons are really buff for no reason. Like, they actually have accurate muscles, which, I don't know, I feel like it's a little weird. And next up we have Flareon, which has the silliest expression that I never noticed. It had the mouth open this whole time. I've never been a big fan of the evolution, although I think they are really cute. If there was a favorite of mine, it would be Umbreon for sure. Next up we have this little guy, which I'm actually curious to see if it's anyone's favorite. Because it's one of those Pokemons kind of like Pinsir that no one really likes. But if someone gets it and is happy, or they go out of their way to get the sticker of it, I wanna shake their hand, because it used to be one of my most liked to find. So, like, I wanted to put some Pokemons that I actually liked, even though they are not super popular, like this other little dude. Which, again, this sort of Pikachu rip-offs that there is in every generation, they are kind of a hit or miss. The only one that really hit is Mimikyu, but that's because it's adorable. This one kind of looks like an 8, and I don't know, I'm not too big on rodents, to be honest. This other guy is super round. It's obviously shaped after a little bell, the ones that tingle, and it's super cute. I think it's one of the most fun to draw of the whole group. And I don't know, I just really like round shapes. And then we got a classic, the good old Geodude from the anime, ready to throw hands, really human, and sort of lean but strong hands, which again, weird. Then Lopunny is the evolution. Baneri, another super soft kind of a meme Pokemon, because it's the only one other than legendaries that absolutely hates your guts once you capture it, so it takes a lot of friendship to become accustomed to it. And initially I got the color of the paws wrong because I thought they were brown too, but they are actually the same color of the fur. And then we got our man, Pinsir. The one that is probably the least loved in this whole group. Seriously, if you like Pinsir at least half as me, reach out. We need to make a Pinsir fan club or something. There has to be another person that likes him. Then we got Blaziken, another solid starter from Generation 3. I started with Trico because I didn't know back then that grass Pokemons are kinda weaker than any other type known to man. But if I knew this was the third evolution, I would probably have gone with Blaziken. Also because I believe there is a lot of gyms where it's strong against, but we all know that water tends to be usually the strongest type. Especially when it's combined with earth. That would have been making the fight against the Electro Gym a lot easier. Because I remember I struggled a lot with that. Then we got Little Meow from the Team Rocket. There's actually a few more Team Rocket Pokemons because I was thinking in the future when I'm gonna make the Gacha stickers, some packages are not gonna be random. Like there is gonna be Ekans, Mew and Coughing all together chilling for some lucky ones that will get scripted packets. And there is gonna be Grovyle, Dusknoir and Darkrai chilling together too. Although Jirachi could also be one of the trio because I believe it's in Mystery Dungeon as well. Because there is the Wish episode of Bidoof, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I will be the happiest if I will get to find Grovyle in my own packet. Next up, we have the little Pichu from the series of Pokemon Ranger with the super cute ukulele which has been incredibly difficult to draw. Because it's an instrument that's not quite a guitar, it's a little smaller. So I didn't quite know how to handle the roundness of the thing. But I think it looks good enough. I hope. Also, you can sort of see when I started giving up when I don't fully outline manually the Pokemon, because I really don't like to do the outline straightforward because it's a little less accurate in the silhouette, while doubling it sort of fixes it. And there is a Pokemon when I start giving up later on. Also because I was starting to feel oppressed that I wouldn't finish them in time for the convention. But since I already ordered them, I'm pretty sure they should arrive in time before the end of December, so I can also add them to the shop so people can buy them. And here it is, Dusknoir. I tried to not make him look too evil, but that guy is evil. He's a big poopy head and a fat asshole, and I really dislike him. He's one of these kind of characters that I initially absolutely hated, And then they kind of grew on me. Also sucks to be him to never be able to see the dawn come in the good ending. Too bad. And then we got the Darkrai instead of the Alga because I thought it was cooler. I don't know, I just like this guy. It's a little awkward, it's cool. I like the colors. So I wanted to draw him as one of the few legendaries that you can find. And then we got Coughing! He's so funny, like the expression. I don't know, I could have probably made the clouds a little more accurate to the reference, but I had a lot of fun with this guy. And this is when I start to lose attention and I just want to get over it, because I don't know, I found this Pokemon shiny a bunch of times on Pokemon Go, but I don't like, I don't know, like geometrical shapes like that are hard to do. So I was like, I'm gonna do the outline thick by default, so that will save me time. And it ended up not saving up time for me. So I was like, oh well, let's go back doing the line art properly then, if that's not gonna work. Also, I noticed that in the pupils there tends to be a very bright blue or brown color, which I never really noticed until I got to properly look at Pokemons. But yeah, also before I saw Dusknoir and I got distracted, I was about to say that during December there is gonna be a discount on the newsletter. If you ever made a purchase from my Etsy, you're gonna get some little previews and stuff from the newsletter, which you require an invite to, because I want to know who joins it. And yeah, it's a new thing, but there is a couple people in it, and I hope you will join it too. There is also like a loyalty card that if you make at least 5 orders and a certain amount of money spent, you get a free commission at the end. And I was thinking also of printing it and sending it over. It will be really cool. Sorry, I'm a little sleepy because my neighbor wouldn't shut up until 9 p.m. So I'm recording later again. And now here is the speed paint of the color, which surprisingly didn't take long at all. Usually I can determine how long a drawing will take because it's let's say 1 hour for the sketch. That means double, it's gonna be 2 hours for the line art, and half of that is gonna be 30 minutes each to color them. So that's how I sort of predict how long something is gonna take. But it also depends on the amount of colors, amount of details. These drawings weren't really detailed and had a limited palette, so I managed in a whole day to finish all of them. And I think I did a pretty good job so far. So I would love to draw Pokemon again. Maybe not this many at once, but like in an illustration or something cute like that. I would love to do it again. And I also added Pikachu because he's the prize if you buy both from me and my other friend that has his own batch of drawings. And that was it. Also, if you enjoy my videos, remember to subscribe and like if you want to see more. And with that said, Thanks for sticking by and thank you for watching. See you next time.